Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. Brother Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Today we will learn from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 3rd Canto 24th chapter titled as Renunciation by Kardama Muni. Bhagavan Kapila, who is incarnation of Lord Krishna, is instructing to Kardama Muni about the science of self-realization, which is a process called as Sāṅkhya Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. And this self-realization process is very difficult to achieve or to understand because people have lost connection with it. And to re-establish that connection, Kapila Dev appeared again. Kapila Dev says to Bhagavan Kapila Dev says to Kardama Muni, Eshatma atho abhakto nashtakalena bhuyasha nashyakalena. Because of influence of time, this process of Sāṅkhya Yoga was not being practiced and got disappeared, lost. So Bhagavan Kapila again appeared to Tam pravatyum deham imam vidhi maya mṛtyum. So to re-establish this process of Sāṅkhya Yoga, Bhagavan Kapila has appeared. People in this life are very much entangled in the material activities, day-to-day life, and they have no time to think about what will happen when I die. Do I have to take a birth again? What is the next process? That is explained by Sāṅkhya Yoga. Sāṅkhya Yoga is the analytical study of life, our activities, and death, and the next life. That's the Sāṅkhya Yoga. So Bhagavan Kapila appeared to explain us this philosophy of Sāṅkhya Yoga. Bhagavan Kapila is saying here, Gaccha kamam maya prishto mahi sanyasta karma jitva sudurjayam mṛtyum amṛtatvāya bhaja. So Kapila Bhagavan is saying that jitva sudurjayam mṛtyum, to overcome this life of repeated cycle of life and death, amṛtatvāya bhaja. So amṛtatvāya means that eternal life. So if you really wants to overcome this repeated cycle of birth and death, then one have to, and get the eternal life, then one have to bhaja, worship Lord Krishna. Now, translation is now being sanctioned by me, as you go as you desire, surrender all your activities to me. Conquering insurmountable death, worship me for eternal life. So here Bhagavan Kapila is saying that if you really want to overcome this mṛtyum, sudurjayam means very difficult to conquer this death. But if one really is serious about conquering the death, then one have to worship Bhagavan Krishna. And the same message is given by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, that if one really wants to get out of this cycle of birth and death, one has to surrender to Lord Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The purpose of Sāṅkhya philosophy is stated herein. If anyone wants a real eternal life, he has to engage in the devotional service of Krishna. If you really want eternal life, if you want a life without anxiety, then worship Krishna. To become free from birth and death is not an easy task. Birth and death are natural to the body. Sudurjayam means very difficult to overcome. If one decides that, okay, I want to overcome birth and death, it is not possible for ordinary man. Even scientists don't know how to overcome birth and death. So Prabhupada says, the modern so-called scientists do not have sufficient means to understand the process of victory over birth and death. So scientists usually have no idea how to overcome the birth and death process. So they set aside this question of birth and death. They don't talk about it because they do not know simply how to get out of this material birth and death. So what do then? They divert your attention to engage you in the problems of material body, which is the transient and sure to end. So if they want to divert your attention from this problem of spiritual path to material path, because the spiritual path for them is they have no idea how to traverse this path. So then keep you busy with material path. Actually, human life is meant for conquering this insurmountable process of birth and death. Actually, human life is an opportunity that how can I get out of this cycle of birth and death? Why do I have to take birth again and again? Every few days, every few years, I have to take birth again and die? Can I get rid of this? That question can be only asked by human beings and not by animals. And how do you do that? So that is done by a process called as bhakti. Mama Bhaja. One must engage in devotional service to Lord Krishna. And this has been given in Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam nam namaskuru mam eva satyapte pratijani priyo siddhi. Just become my devotee, just worship me. Even 18th chapter, Lord Krishna says that Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papibhyo mokshasya. Moksha means get out of the cycle of birth and death. But people don't have time to listen. Krishna is saying here, just surrender to me, I will get you out of the birth and death cycle. But people have no faith in Krishna's words. So foolish so-called scholars say that it is not Krishna whom we must worship and to whom we must surrender. It is something else. When Krishna says surrender to me, they remove Krishna and they put something else there. Without Krishna's mercy, therefore, no one can understand the Sāṅkhya philosophy or in fact any philosophy which is specially meant for getting out of birth and death cycle. If we really want to overcome the cycle of birth and death, we must learn from Lord Shri Krishna. Vedic knowledge confirms that one becomes entangled in the material life because of avidya, ignorance. Ignorance is the main cause of our suffering. We have no idea that we have to give up this body, take another body, again go through the same cycle. Why am I suffering here? Repeatedly, one life after another, one life after another. Can I somehow come out of this cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death? But people have ignorance, avidya. They have no idea what they are doing. So they are just keep on doing what they are doing. And then at the end, everything is finished. Next life begins. Again, the same cycle. Punarapi janma, punarapi janma. Punarapi janma, punarapi. How can I get out of this? This is very important. One must become free from the material entanglement by becoming situated in the factual knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Sāṅkhya means the factual knowledge by which one can get out of this material entanglement. So here Kapila Bhagwan is saying to Kardama Muni that I have come here to spread this message of Sāṅkhya philosophy so that the people who are caught with this sudurjayam mṛtyum, this mṛtyum which is very difficult to overcome. People are caught in this rat race. I want to deliver them. I want to get them out. And amṛtatvāya mam bhaja. Amṛtatvāya. I want to give them eternal life. And that is possibly after worshipping Krishna. So here, Bhagavan Kapila He's instructing us that what is the importance of bhakti. Bhakti can get us out of this repeated cycle of birth and death. So we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam tomorrow. Vendra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanande.